Okay, here's a perfect video about leaky gut. So what is leaky gut? You have your gut lining, right? You have your large intestine and you have these microvilli in your small intestine, and these gap junctions open up with certain foods like cheese. Yeah, like cheese, dairy, wheat, grains. See, 10,000 years ago, we started agriculturalizing our foods, farming our foods. So in nature, you would just grab something from a wild and stick it in your mouth if it wasn't poisonous, or bugs were not eating it, or you weren't competing with other predators. So you could only eat seasonally. That's why we can only handle 1 teaspoon of carbs every time we have a meal. Is because in the wild, we wouldn't have accessibility to sweet fruits, because sweet fruits are hybridized, right? They're genetically modified to be more sweet and have more fructose in them. Crazy. So we can't get out of the sugar friggin' bonanza. We're made out of fat, protein, and water, and that's it. We're not made out of fructose or carbs. You don't have to eat 1 gram of carbohydrates to produce blood sugar. We can do that through gluconeogenesis. So leaky gut is when the permeability of that wall, those gaps, open up, and big particles of food can now enter the bloodstream, and your body starts to attack itself. Plus, these little macrovilli hairs that help filter down food also become destroyed. And then you start to have like bloated, and you're tired, and like your candida's out of control, and you guys might have a small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. You might have malabsorption issues, like if your pee is bubbly, you're not absorbing protein. If your poop is floating, why is your poop floating? Well, you're not absorbing things. A lot of you guys are mineral deficient: magnesium, zinc, copper, iron, chromium, magnesium, D3, B complex. You're deficient in a lot of stuff. So leaky gut is when your body's basically your body's attacking itself. That means autoimmune, like attack yourself. And so it manifests in a lot of like health issues. People might have fibroids and endometriosis, and they might have gout, or they might have an infected gallbladder, or they might have, some people might develop like their fuzzy brain to dementia. Like, people don't know where it's coming. It's the gut. That's where the immune system isn't there, people. It's not there. It's there. You got to take care of it. Everything you eat is making you sick. Everything. So how you fix it is to eliminate those foods. Because when you develop leaky gut, you develop food sensitivities. And now avocados and citrus and fish and meats that have been sitting out for a day that collect bacteria on them. Spinach and people who've got thyroid with the nightshades. Your body's reacting off the food. Do an elimination and bring things in one by one if you're trying to understand what is making you sick. Use your glucometer. Test 10 minutes before and an hour to an hour and a half later. And if that number has to go back down to that first number that you tested or lower, because if it spikes, you might have a sensitivity to that food, and that can affect your sleep, and that can affect your energy levels, and that can affect, PMS and whatever people are experiencing with the asthma and the depression. You could really pretty much point it to the leaky gut. Fix the gut. That's why no cheese, no caffeine, and no freaking wheat, cheese, nuts, caffeine, no wheat, no none of these things that are going to irritate the body. So I hope that is a quick explanation, because my videos get too long.